Okay, moving on to the next set of questions that I've given you in your other assignment. Okay, so the first question says the Bata Shoe Store is having a Christmas sale on their shoes. All shoes inside the store will be given a discount. Okay, as a manager of the store, you are required to draw a flow chart for a program that calculates the discounted price of shoes. Your program should input the original price of shoes and the discount rate for the shoes. In the end, your program should display the discounted price of the shoes. For example, okay, if the user enters 250.50 as the price and 30 as a discount rate, the discounted price should be 175.35. Okay, now basically, apa soalan ni minta is, it asks you to calculate harga kasut setelah didiskaunkan. Alright, so originally, okay, the price of the shoes can be anything, the discount rate of the shoes can be anything depending on what the user keys in. Alright, so the answer will be depending on the price and the rate that it enters. So that is why it says here, for example, if the user enters 250, okay, as the price, and the discount rate that they enter is 30%, okay, the discounted price of that shoes from 250 ringgit 50 cents, if it receives 30% discount, then the final price of the shoes is 175 ringgit 0.35. So we must find out how we can actually get this answer. Alright, so we need to draw a flow chart for this. So first thing we need is start. Okay, after start, we take a look at what input do we need. So this is the first input, this is the second input that we need. So meaning that we need to read the price of the shoes. Okay, so first thing we need to read is the price. Okay, that is the first thing we want to read. Okay, what is the next thing we want to read? We want to read the rate, the discount rate. So we can just write here, read rate. Okay, read rate. Now, after we've received the price and also the rate, okay, so how can we calculate this? Okay, of course, we need a process. Okay, so to calculate this, okay, so to calculate the discounted price, discount equals to, okay, so how do you get 175 ringgit 0.35? Okay, some of you might say, oh, price divided by 30, is that correct? No, okay, because if you take a look here, the discount rate is in percent, 30%, okay. So what you need to write here, you need to convert this, okay, from 30. You can't basically, when you write program, okay, if you take a look at your keyboard, okay, there is this 30% here, okay, it does not mean anything on your keyboard. I don't know how to explain this, but 30%, okay, it does not represent it is a percentage, okay. So instead of you write it as 30% like this, okay, what you need to do is you need to convert it in percentages, in decimals. Okay, that is how the computer can actually calculate your data. Okay, so you can't write 30% like this. What does 30% mean? 30% means it's 30 over 100, right? Because full price is at 100%. Okay, if it is at 30%, meaning it's 30 over 100. Okay, but to when it comes to writing in C++, it is advised, instead of you writing it like this, I want you to write it in decimals. Okay, so 30% means 0.3, because 30 over 100, okay, 1, 2, it becomes 0.30. Okay, so I want you to write 0.3, which will represent 30%. Okay, so when you calculate the discounted price of your shoe, okay, what you can do here is to calculate this, right, you need to write, if you just do this, price times, okay, 30. That is wrong. You cannot write it like this. Like I said, this does not represent percentages. Okay, so instead of writing 30%, you need to write price times 0.3. Okay, now if you just write it like this, okay, so this is a rectangle, all right, discount equals to price times 0.3. Okay, if you take your calculator, all right, and you type in, let's say the price here, the user enters 250.50, okay, and the rate here is 30. So if I open up the calculator, okay, let's say I search calculator here, okay, and let's say you type in, okay, what I'm calculating here, price, which is 250, okay, 0.5, you times it by 0.3 equals to 75.15. So over here you will get 75.15. Now if you take a look here, this value and this value is different, right? Okay, meaning that this is not the answer you're looking for. This is the price of the discount. All right, you want to find the price of your shoe after it has been discounted. All right, so price, discounted shoe, okay, meaning that you need to take the original price, okay, so the original price is price, you must minus it, okay, with the discounted price. Only then you will get the harga or the price after the discount. All right, so price, so we know that price, okay, is 250, okay, and you minus it with your discounted price 75.15, only then you will get 175.35. so you know that over here you will get 175.35. so this means you have solved the problem. So all you need to do is just display your answer. Okay, so display, all right, the discounted price of shoes is, okay, 175.35. so where'd you get it? You get from this shoe that you saved there. So this shoe, okay, so this is parallelogram since this is a output, and all you need to do is just end this. And this is how you solve the first problem. Okay, class? Okay, so moving on to the next question. Okay, so it says here you found an exciting job for 4 weeks. All right, and these are some of the spendings that you will be doing after you get your gaji, your income. All right, so design a pseudocode for a program that asks the user to enter the pay rate for an hour and the number of hours you worked each week. So basically, based on what the user enter for their pay rate and also the number of hours that they worked for each week, okay, for around 4 weeks, you're gonna get the amount of their income. All right, so after that you need to display, okay, their income before and after taxes, okay, the money that they spend on clothes and other accessories, the money you spent to buy savings bonds, as well as your income after all of that spendings. So this is an example of an input and output of the program. These data can change, okay, because this is just a sample input. So if the user enters 4 here, 10, 15, 20, and 10, these would be the output that you will get. All right. But if what the user enters differently, then you will get different output. All right. So let us do a pseudocode for this one. Okay. Now, first thing, start. Okay. So the next thing, you need to figure out what input you will ask the user. So first of all, okay, let's say I write here, based on the what's it called, this thing, this console, okay, you can write the instructions, but if you don't want to write the instruction, it's fine as well. So let's say I write here, enter your job's pay rate, okay, and then, oops, sorry, not semicolon, this is not coding, okay. Number 3, okay, read. So if you take a look here, all right, it reads an input. Okay, so you can name what input you want to do. Okay, so I missed out here per hour. Okay, so read. So let's say if the user enters 4 here, what variable you want to put it in? So let's say I put it in rate. Okay, and then number 4, display, enter the number of hours you worked for 4 weeks. Okay, so and then number 5, read. So if you take a look here, there are 4 data that you need to enter, that the user will need to enter. So you need 4 variables as well. So let's say hour 1, hour 2, hour 3, and hour 4. All right, you can name it however you want to name it. All right, number 6. Okay, so for number 6, you need to do the process, because these are the things that you want to display. So before you can display the things that you want to display, you need to do the process first. Okay, so first of all, income before tax. How do I get 220 here based on this input? Okay, so logically for gaji, okay, we know that if we add up everything here, the number of hours that they work for 4 weeks, okay, and we multiply it for how much they get per hour, then you will get the income before tax. Okay, so let's say I write here income before tax, okay, equals to, you write here H1 plus H2 plus H3 plus H4. Okay, number 7. All right, income after tax. So this is not finished yet. Okay, income before tax, you add up everything, and the next thing you want to do is you need to multiply it by the rate. Okay, so you will get how much gaji, okay, before you pay the tax. All right, so after you pay the tax, you need to display that as well. So income after tax, how do we get this? So we write here income after tax equals to, okay, so basically how much tax you need to pay, you need to read up here. It says here, suppose that the total tax you pay on a job income is 14%. Okay, so you know that you need to pay 14% of the income that you get before tax. So you write here income before tax. All right, but if you just leave it here, is wrong. Okay, because you need to minus with the original income, because this is just 14% of it. You want to find the income after you pay the tax. All right, so number 8, okay, you can write income after tax equals to, okay, which means you are updating the data, income after tax minus, okay, income before tax minus income after tax. All right, or you can write this as income before tax minus income after tax here. You can combine it if you want. All right, so for example, I write it like this. Okay, so you don't need to have this next line. Okay, you can do this as well. So it's up to you how you want to do it. All right, and then number 8. Okay, number 8. Okay, so income before tax equals to H1 plus H2 plus H3 plus H4 times rate. Okay, if you want to check whether your answer is correct, you can always calculate it. So check your formula with the data you enter. So H1 is 10, okay, plus H2, which is 15, plus H3, which is 20, plus H4, which is 10, okay, you will get 55. And then if you times it by rate, which is rate is 4, okay, you will get 220. Yes, that's correct. Okay, and then after that, okay, so this is correct. Income after tax equals to income before tax. So we know that income before tax that we've calculated is 220, okay, minus, okay, minus income before tax times 0.14. So if 0.14, okay, we times it with income before tax, which is 220, you will get 30 ringgit 80. But this is only for this part, okay? So this is how much you will need to pay for the tax. So income after tax, so that is 220 minus 30 ringgit 80, you will get 189 ringgit 20 cent. So this is correct as well. Alright, then money spent on clothes. Money spent on clothes after you pay the tax, okay, you spend 10% of your next income to buy new clothes and other accessories. So meaning that using the money after the tax, okay, you will spend 10% of that income. Alright, so clothes equals to 10% is 0.1, okay, times what? Income after tax. Because you are spending 10% of this value. Alright, so I'll check it if it's correct or not. So income after tax is 189 ringgit 20. Okay, if I times it by 0.1, yes, 1892, so that is correct here. Okay, so after that, number 9, okay, money spent on savings bonds. So let's see, I write here bonds equals to, alright, how much do you spend it? I spend 25% to buy savings bond. So 25% is 0.25 and then times it with what? Do you write it like this and just leave it at that? Okay, let's check. If you do this, you will get the wrong answer because 0.25 times 189.2, oops, sorry. 0.25 times 189.2, you will get 47 ringgit 30 cent. That is wrong because, okay, the amount that you need to spend on is after you buy the clothing. All right, so this means that before you times the income after tax here, you need to minus with the clothing first, because using the money that you pay after you buy the clothes, then you will use 25% of that to buy savings bonds. Get what I mean? Okay, so let's check it. Sorry, let's check this with your calculator. Okay, so income after tax earlier we have 189.2, and then you minus your clothing, which is 18.92. Okay, so you get 170.28, and then you spend, and then you times that with 0.25, you will get 42 ringgit 57 cents. So that is also correct. Okay, then lastly, you need to find total income after all the spendings. All right, so to find the total, okay, total equals to, this is your money after you spend everything. Okay, so meaning that your gaji asal, okay, the money what is left after you have paid for clothes and after you have paid for your savings bonds. All right, so what formula you need to write here? Total equals to, okay, income after tax, all right, minus clothes minus bonds. Okay, so if you write income after tax, meaning this is your income after you pay the tax, and then you will minus it with how much you pay for the clothes, and you will minus it how much you pay for the bonds. All right, so let's check it again. All right, so income after tax earlier is 189.2, minus it with 18.92, minus it with 42.57, you will get 127 ringgit 71 cent. So again, your formula is also correct. Okay, so in the end, since you have done all the processes, you just need to display. So display, okay, income before tax. Okay, where'd you get this? You get this from income before tax there. Income before tax. Okay, and then 12, display income after tax. Okay, again, where'd you get this? From the formula that you've done, income after tax. 13, money spent on clothes. Okay, display money spent on clothes. Okay, comma, where'd you get this? You get this from clothes that you've calculated. 14, display money spent on savings bonds. Okay, again, where'd you get from this? From bonds that you've calculated. 15. Lastly is display total income after all the spendings. So again, where'd you get this? You get this from total that you've calculated. So if you check, all of this output, okay, is the same as this one. All right. So in the end, 16, you just need to end it. All right. So if you get it like this, then your algorithm is correct, right? So again, why we do algorithm? Because we want to check whether each of the instruction that you write for your program is logic or not. Okay, so if your formula here is somehow incorrect, then when you are about to display the answer will be incorrect as well. That is why designing the algorithm first is very important before you start to translate each of this to C++. Okay, so that is the end for this chapter. So I guess I'll see all of you in our next class. Bye everyone.